Alright, drafters, here today looking at quick drafts and looking at the differences between quick draft pick orders and Premier Draft pick orders or human draft pick orders, because that definitely is a difference. We know from experience that the bots are always programmed in a particular way, and they look at certain cards more than they look at other cards. So, like it or not, quick draft, the way the bots work is part of the game, and it's just something that we kind of need to know about, and it's worth knowing. Another thing is, some people don't like to play quick draft. Occasionally it is actually better than Premier Draft. It's better for new players for a start, but also when we had Crimson Vow, I really liked the green black deck, and you couldn't really draft it in the Premier because it was so difficult to, you need to get those particular uncommons. But at least at the start of the format, the quick draft was really under valuing the green black cards, and you could quite easily get a good green black deck together. So sometimes it was nice to get that deck together as well. So what I'm going to look at is, we're going to be looking at this average last seen at, ALSA. And what this is, it's the average point where a card is seen in a pack, whether it's pick 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So you can see here you got Ancestral Katana in quick draft is seen around pick 4. That's the time it generally gets taken round the draft. And it would be different if we looked at Premier Draft. So it should come up with Ancestral Katana at the top, and here it's in a Premier Draft, it's seen a little bit later. So Ancestral Katana is looking like it's picked a little bit faster in Quick Draft than it is in Premier Draft. So the bots are taking it more frequently or faster than the humans, or the bots are valuing it higher than humans are. So what I'm going to do to analyze this a little bit, I've got my trusty spreadsheet out, and I've got the average last seen at with, in Premier Draft, the most picked card is the Wandering Emperor, which I'm not surprised at. It is a very good card. I still think it's probably the best card in the set, and it's that's the most picked card by humans. Then you got AO, another mythic here, and you got lots of mythics and rares, because there are some very good mythics and rares in the set. I've also separated out the commons and uncommons, and the most picked card, that's a common or uncommon, is Assassin's Ink, which I think is actually probably not correct, because I think it's a good card, but I wouldn't say it's the best one, but people do quite highly value removal. For Quick Draft, the Thunder and Raiju and Kaito Shizuki are tied for the top, really, because they both have this average last seen at 1, so they tend to only be taken, if this is in a pack, it's going to be taken first. And if we look in the Premier Draft, the Thunder and Raiju is down here at number 25, so still picked quite highly. We have a total of 282 cards in this list, and we did see a little sneak peek at the bottom, but got 282 cards, so it's still picked quite highly, but definitely not that first pick point. And if we look where it is as well, so we have the Thunder and Raiju. I've lost it now. There it is. Thunder and Raiju, it's 1.6 compared to the 1, so it does get passed a little bit, whereas the bots don't seem to be passing it at all. Looking at the bottom end of the list, you got Kindle Fury as the least picked card in this set by humans, which again I feel like is a strange one. I don't think this is a great card, but I think it does have a place every now and again. And when we're looking at quick drafts, we've got, well, actually the thing here is that these lands, all 10 of them, I think there's all 10 of them here, yeah, all 10 of these gain lands are the least picked cards by bots. So those gain lands are really underpicked, because we know that they're good, we know that life gain and the fix and stuff is really good, so that's telling me that some of these multicolored decks might be a lot more doable in quick draft than they are in Premier Draft, and to be honest, they're already really good in Premier Draft. So I wouldn't really worry about having to pick up these, because I mean, if we look at the, these are going 10 to 11 pick a lot of the time, so usually you're going to be able to wheel these. The bots don't seem to take them at all. And actually what I'd say is, when you see these numbers here, that's probably still just getting picked by the humans in the draft. So you might get a human picking a pick 5, pick 4 or something like that, and then when it wheels, it's going to get picked by the human again. So if it was just in a bot draft and the humans weren't in this whatsoever, because you'll have 1 human and 7 bots, you would probably expect these to be more like 13, 14, 15, 16 type of level, I think. So that's something to bear in mind when we're looking at these numbers as well. There is 1 human drafter, you, in these drafts. But looking at these things, it's quite useful. I've separated out the commons and uncommons here as well, like we've seen already. The bots pick out the runaway trash bot most. Again, I don't really know why that is. It's a fine card, but it goes in a particular archetype a lot of the time. Assassin's Ink is second. But what I've done to make a little bit of a comparison is I've ranked them all, as we saw in the previous ones, and I've effectively ordered by the difference in the ranks. So the smaller number here, the higher humans pick it than the bots. The higher the number is, the more likely bots are to pick it over humans. And the main card which actually made us think about doing this is this Reckon a Bank Buster, because when we did the quick draft for Midweek Magic last week, and also since then as well, you just see these in every single game, it seems, almost. I did 2 quick drafts. I did one for the one on Friday when it first came out, and I did one for the Midweek Magic. There was a Reckon a Bank Buster mid-pack in both of those, and I think about half of my games seem to be playing against the Reckon a Bank Buster because the bots just aren't taking it at all. We do have this average last seen at, for a quick draft, at 3, but again, I think that this is one where the humans are picking it quite highly. Because it's a good card, it's a colourless card, it goes in every deck, really. I can't really think of many decks where I wouldn't want it in, and many packs where I wouldn't take it out of every common and uncommon are there. I mean, there would be some packs probably, because I do have some pretty good uncommons in this set, but I think this is solo because the humans are picking it rather than the bots. So that this would be even different if we're just looking at the way the humans, the way the bots draft. Thirst for Knowledge, I don't think there's much of a story here. It's kind of mid-pick by humans. It's quite a late pick by the bots, but you know, it's not really saying much there. Life of Toshiro Mizawa, it's picked very highly by humans because it's a very, very good card. It's lower, again, this is probably put even lower when we just take into account the humans that are drafting. When we take, so this would probably be, I would say 6 or 7 maybe by, if it was just bots, maybe even lower. But this is a very, very good card, and one that we can not necessarily, well, yeah, you could potentially expect that at the wheel. Depending on how the draft goes. I don't know the ins and outs of that. We've got to go Shintai up here, which is picked quite highly by the humans. So that's the red one. And so these are about similar at this point. And you got to take these with a pinch of salt, have a little look at what they mean, what they're looking at. If we look at the other end of the spectrum here, you've got When We Were Young is the a card which is picked low by humans but high by the bots. That's fine. Shrine Steward is picked more highly by the bots, but I think this is maybe a little bit low for humans, if I'm being totally honest. I think it's not a bad card, actually. I think it's got its place, at least, if you've got a couple of good auras and maybe even a shrine you want to fetch out. It's kind of clouded by rare, so I'm going to go to just the commons and uncommons. So we can see here we've got the Thirst for Knowledge and some of these other bits and pieces that are there. And then if we go down to the bottom, we've got this When We Were Young, we've got the Shrine Steward. Ancestral Katana is one that we've seen. It's picked really highly by the bots, but not very highly at all by humans. And a few of these other aggro decks. They've got Sky Swimmer Koi, which is quite a good card. This is a card that you want in a lot of your blue decks, to be honest. It's a 3/3 flyer for 4, and it loots when you get artifacts. So if you've got an artifact deck, you really want this. This is going to go really highly by the bots, and that maybe make this deck a little bit less good. Kami Restless Shadows is actually a pretty good card in a certain archetype if you want it, but they tend to get picked quite highly as well. To be fair, actually, no, there's not a huge difference between these two numbers, the 7.55 and the 5.08. But you've got some bits and pieces going on at the bottom here as well. So things like Ancestral Katana. To be fair, Ancestral Katana really goes in the, well, samurai decks, not necessarily white, red, but it could be green, white, or sometimes you get some of those things in white, black as well. Sometimes you can get a samurai in there. And I think it is quite a good card in those decks, but because it's picked so highly by the bots, this is probably putting red, white even further down on people's pick lists. So that's something to be aware of. And up top, we have cards that you expect to wheel, Thirst for Knowledge, Searchlight Companion, and also, like we looked at earlier, we had the lands, which are very, very underpicked, and that's something to bear in mind, so you might be able to get a nice multicolour deck out of it. Hope you found that useful. It's a very, very light touch, but I thought the investigation was useful to share. I will share this spreadsheet if I can figure out the best way to do it. I might stick it on Google Sheets or something. It might be in the description. I'll let you know in the description whether that's the case or not. But you will be able to have a little look through the results yourself. I've also done stuff on the Mythics and Rares. It wasn't that interesting to just look at the Mythics and Rares, but let you know if you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, let us know. Let us know what you liked. Let me know what you would like to see. I could do a little bit of analysis on the games in hand win rate and the difference between the games in hand win rate and the games not drawn win rate. Other than that, subscribing to the channel is always appreciated. Liking the video is appreciated. Sharing with your friends is definitely appreciated. And I hope to see you again soon.